What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing WandaVision Episode 9. This episode came out today and of course stars Paul Bettany as Vision and Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff. Now before we start, please hit that like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can know for every video. Let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So the opening recap of the previous episodes, I thought it was great. It doesn't take all of the events and puts them into one recap. Gives all the important events so that you actually understand what happens in this episode. Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, and Kathryn Hahn are phenomenal. Paul Bettany, of course, plays Vision, and in WandaVision, for me, actually, this is my favorite performance from Paul Bettany in the MCU, is in WandaVision. He was phenomenal as the Vision for all these 9 episodes. He was definitely way better in this TV show than he was when he first started, which of course that's with everyone. But Vision is awesome. Paul Bettany is phenomenal. Elizabeth Olsen, she is of course the other title character of this series, and she is phenomenal. Elizabeth Olsen, again, she was good in Age of Ultron. I wasn't really invested in her character all that much, but now I'm invested in both of them. I was invested in Vision in Infinity War, but Elizabeth Olsen, I was sort of invested in her, but not as much as I would have liked to. But in this TV show, I was just full-on invested with both of those characters, and in this last episode, they both did a phenomenal job. Kathryn Hahn, of course, Agatha Harkness, she is phenomenal. This is the first time that we actually see Agatha Harkness, first time we see Kathryn Hahn in the MCU, of course, and she is phenomenal. She is creepy, she's scary, she's terrifying, and she's also funny, which is a good balance, and she balances it very well in this series. Director Hayward, he's actually a very good villain, because he's not a villain that has all these superpowers. He's not powerful. He is technically powerful in that he is the director of S.W.O.R.D., but he doesn't have any powers, which sort of makes him a pretty good villain, because you know that he can't really use magic and fight Wanda or whatever, but the things he does to Vision is very villainous in this entire series. So I think Director Hayward is a pretty good secondary antagonist for the series. The reveal of Pietro being Ralph, hence Agatha's husband, well, that worked for me, because I kind of already knew that that Pietro wasn't real, because obviously when he first arrived, everyone thought it was a multiverse, and I did think it was the multiverse, which kind of is, since it was the X-Men version, but then it's revealed that Agatha put him there and just placed him in Wanda's world. But when it's revealed that he's actually Ralph, it's sort of, it was a good twist, but not that understandable, not that comprehensible. It wasn't. It seems a little off, because why would you introduce Pietro just to make it a twist when everyone knows the multiverse is happening, but then make him to be Ralph, which is Agatha's husband? It was okay. It was decent. I was fine with the way they did it. That just makes it so that I guess Mephisto can arrive or something like that, and Agatha Harkness, and they can get more screen time, more films in the future. But I didn't really see the point of it in the last episode. But for what it was, I thought it was good. New Vision versus original Vision fight sequences. I thought they were awesome. Some of the best fight sequences, visually, as well as for entertainment. The fight sequences in this episode are awesome, because you're invested in the characters. 2, they look fantastic, and 3, it's Marvel, so you got to have great action, and the action definitely pays off in this episode. Wanda Maximoff versus Agatha Harkness is awesome. Two witches battling each other for the first time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What more could you ask for? You have Agatha Harkness, is one of the most powerful witches in the entire MCU, one of the most powerful characters in the entire MCU. And you also have Wanda Maximoff, again, one of the most powerful characters who never really knew how to use her power in the previous films and in the beginning of this TV show. Because of course she created the world, she didn't know how she did whatever, so she couldn't really use her powers that well. But now she is the Scarlet Witch, and she knows how to use her powers. And Agatha does try to take them away in this episode, and of course that fight sequence is going to be awesome. Two witches in the MCU, what can go wrong? Wanda is very she feels like a character now, I guess, because in Age of Ultron I didn't really see her as like a character. I saw her as, Wanda Maximoff, but I wasn't invested in the character, so I didn't really think she was that interesting to actually be invested in that character in the previous films. But then again, this TV show WandaVision definitely proved me wrong, and she is phenomenal as the Scarlet Witch. The ending is very emotional. It's definitely up there with Tony Stark's death, because it's sort of like you bring Vision back, right? And I kind of already knew, again, that Vision cannot really be back because, he's dead. He technically is dead, and the multiverse could change it, but it's highly unlikely that it could change that. So I knew he was dead from the beginning, and it gets emotional in that ending sequence. Of course, between Wanda and Vision, I'm not going to spoil what happens in that ending sequence, but it's very emotional, and for me at least, it's up there with Tony Stark's death on the level of emotion. So that ending sequence is just very emotional. The post-credit sequence, or sequences I should say, stick around for those because I thought they were great. And it does very subtly hint at some things that could happen in the future of the MCU. That's about it. There's nothing bad about this episode. WandaVision episode 9 is a phenomenal episode. It's a very, very well done conclusion to WandaVision, and I highly recommend it. And I'm going to give WandaVision episode 9 an A. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to post notification bell so you can know for a free video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.